victim, but he said, "You're an anti-American communist using religion to take away our freedoms. You are despicable." And I said to my wife, Joanna, "Who sent me this, Daffy Duck? You're despicable." Well, what can I say? That is what kids are taught. Once again, kids are taught that if you're a Christian, you're trying to impose a theocracy and take away our freedoms. Well, actually, this is a quote from Jefferson, etched into stone in his memorial. He stated, "God, who gave us life, gave us liberty." Who gave us our liberties? God. And then he asked this rhetorical question: can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed a conviction these liberties are a gift from God? The answer is no. They cannot and they will not. And that's why we are in the situation we find ourselves today. Simple fact of the matter is that Darwinism provided the philosophical framework or foundation for Marxist communism. In fact, Mao Zedong, who murdered about 60 million people in China just 50 years ago, listed Charles Darwin as his favorite author. In fact, the founder of the ACLU stated that communism is their goal. Their lawsuits include banning the Bible, the Ten Commandments, moments of silence, and more from schools and federal institutions around our country. Has that strengthened America or weakened America? Their first office was in New York City, shared with the Masses newspaper, which was the largest communist newspaper at that time in America. Jesus said, "Everyone that hears these sayings of mine and does them not will be likened unto a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And the rains ascended and the floods came, and it fell. And great was the fall of that house, built on the ever-shifting sands of man's ever-changing opinions." We dedicated the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in 1982. It does not contain a single reference to God. We dedicated the FDR Memorial in 1997. It does not contain a single reference to God. During World War II, the U.S. government issued more than 17 million Bibles to U.S. military personnel around the globe. We dedicated the memorial in 2004. It does not contain a single reference to God. Inside the visitor center at the base of the Washington Memorial was a plaque telling folks about what was on that aluminum cap on top of the plaque, including the words, "Laus Deo," being the first words lit by the rays of the sun in Washington, D.C. every day. And last year, that plaque was removed. Ronald Reagan stated that without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, we will be a nation gone under. My friends, millions of years in Darwinism are taught in our schools and universities as if they were science. You know, rat poison will kill a rat deader than a doornail. Do you know that rat poison is 99.9% perfectly good rat food? It's only about 1/10 of 1% poison. Yet it'll kill a rat completely dead. Science today is 95% perfectly good science, but they've taken the religious foundations for secular humanism, which is millions of years leading to Darwinism, and they now mix it into science. And people come out of schools as scientists believing in millions of years leading to Darwinism, thinking it's science. It's not science, it's a religious belief. In fact, when you think about it, creation and evolution are the exact same thing, aren't they? Aren't they both beliefs in how we came about? Yeah, you can't teach one as religion and one as science. They're both religious beliefs. What we show folks is that the science, the things you can test, study, and observe, support the biblical accounts perfectly, but destroy the Darwinian fairy tale. Yet these false teachings dominate public institutions. You can't go to a national park or museum without being beaten over the head with millions of years in Darwinism. And they dominate the media, from children's cartoons to magazine covers. Once again, the American people and the church itself, for the most part, has lost touch with God yet again. Many church leaders won't let me show this type of information to their churches. You know why? Because they believe in millions of years. You know, they don't say, rarely do they say, Russ, we're not going to let you talk because we don't believe the Bible's true. We believe in millions of years. They'll say, Russ, we're not going to let you talk because you're mean or haughty or arrogant or unloving. Or I'm like, wow, I don't think I'm any of those things. What are you talking about? It's always millions of years. I've written 3 books. I have a 4th book coming out in a month. It's called The Submerging Church: How Christian Compromise Has Destroyed the Christian Faith. I think it's going to make me really popular with a lot of churches. But my point is this. We've turned our back on the biblical God yet again. And the co-author of my book goes to a church in Phoenix, Arizona with 10,000 members, and he saw our teachings and he was all excited. This is what led to the books. And he said, Russ, I'm going to get you to talk to our pastors. They're going to love this. They're going to want you to come to the church and speak. And I said, you know, don't get your hopes up. 98% of churches won't let me show this. And he said, oh no, not my church. We're a good fundamental Bible-believing church. So, okay. Because I had people come up to me all the time, Russ, our pastor's going to love this. So he went and talked to them. And for 4 months, they wouldn't give him an answer. Finally, he went into the offices and said, what is the problem? We're losing over 80% of our kids. We need to get Russ in here and show this information. And they said, we're not going to let that guy come in here and speak. We believe in millions of years.